Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Dana White recently did an interview with Barstool Sports where he talked about the potential Rafael Dos Anjos versus Islam Makhachev fight, which was supposedly going to happen at UFC 272, is now not happening. And I really believe that Islam Makhachev made himself really look bad in this situation. And I'm going to play that clip in a minute, but first I want to talk about the entirety of the situation. So first off, Islam Makhachev and Rafael Dos Anjos have been supposed to fight for literally 2 years. They were originally scheduled to fight at UFC 254 back on the Khabib Nurmagomedov Justin Gaethje card. Rafael Dos Anjos pulled out. He tested positive for COVID. Then they were rescheduled a month later, November of 2020. Unfortunately, Makhachev had an injury, had to pull out of that fight. And then most recently, October of last year, UFC 267, we were finally supposed to get RDA versus Islam Makhachev. And unfortunately, Rafael Dos Anjos had to pull out with an injury. And it just seems like this fight was doomed. And then just recently, just a couple days ago, I thought for sure we were going to get RDA versus Islam Makhachev. So last week, Islam Makhachev was supposed to take on Beneil Dariush. Beneil Dariush pulled out with an injury, and Bobby Green volunteered to step in. Well, Islam Makhachev went out there and dominated him in the first round, took 0 strikes, took 0 damage, came out completely unscathed. And the following week, Rafael Dos Anjos was supposed to fight Rafael Fiziev. Unfortunately, Rafael Fiziev had to pull out of the fight. And look who opened his mouth on Twitter. Islam Makhachev said, and I wonder if it's actually Islam Makhachev or not, but we'll get that in a second. Islam Makhachev said he would fight RDA on short notice at UFC 272. I was so excited. I really wanted this fight badly. This was a fight that we've been teased with for literal years, and now it's not happening. It's been announced by the UFC. We're getting RDA versus Renato Moicano in the co-main event of UFC 272, which just sucks because UFC 272, as it is not the greatest card on paper. It doesn't have a title fight headlining. I mean, it's not the worst pay-per-view ever, but it really could have used Islam Makhachev on the card. So now let's get to the clip, because a lot of people are wondering what happened. Why aren't we getting RDA versus Islam Makhachev? RDA said he was down. Islam Makhachev said he was down. So what happened? Well, here's what Dana White had to say in the Barstool Sports interview.
How close was Islam Makhachev to making the 1 week turnaround? Was that fight almost made?
Pretty close. I thought we had it done. When
Really?
I went to bed, one of the nights there, I thought it was done. Woke up the next morning and found out they turned it down.
Who turned it down?
Islam.
That's shocking. Was it a weight thing? Was it he didn't want to get down to a certain weight?
No clue.
So there you hear it straight from Dana White. Islam Makhachev turned down the fight against RDA at UFC 272. And first off, I do not blame Islam Makhachev for not wanting to fight RDA on 5 days notice. I don't blame him for that. But the reason I think he made himself look horrible, and some people are calling for him no longer to deserve a title shot, no longer getting the next title shot against the winner of Oliveira Gaethje. I think that's a bit extreme. I'll talk about that more in a second. But why did he go out of his way to tweet that he wanted to step in, and he said he could make 170 pounds? And I truly believe that they thought, whether it be Ali Abdelaziz tweeting from Islam's Twitter, which I think is a very possible scenario, I really think they just wanted the publicity of saying, you know what, Islam will step in on 4 or 5 days notice, and they never thought that RDA would call his bluff. RDA said, okay, because RDA had originally said he'll take him on at 165, and then he said, you know what, he tweeted out, I will fight you at 170, now you have no excuse. And now Islam, Dana White comes out, Islam and Ali Abdelaziz turned down the fight. They aren't willing to fight RDA on a couple days notice. And again, I don't blame them. But why did you throw your name in the hat if you weren't willing to step in? It's just a bad look. It looks like you're chasing clout, saying, oh, look how impressive he is. He wants to step in on short notice and fight RDA when he really didn't mean it. He was just looking for attention. Now, whether that's actually Islam or not, or it's Ali, that remains to be determined. I think it could be either one. But it's just super disappointing because this was the fight to make. And really, in an alternate universe, what I would have loved to see is Bobby Green versus Renato Moicano and Islam Makhachev versus RDA. Just book those fights instead. Unfortunately, we got Islam Makhachev versus Bobby Green, and now we're getting RDA versus Renato Moicano. I don't think RDA versus Renato Moicano is a terrible fight. I still think it's a quality lightweight fight. But the intrigue level for an RDA Islam Makhachev fight would have been incredible. Both guys would have been in shape. Islam just fought, so it's not like he was completely out of camp or anything. It would have been a super compelling fight to add to a little bit of a lackluster main card at UFC 272. Now, as far as the people, who are going to say I'm some kind of Islam Makhachev hater because I'm saying he really embarrassed himself here, even putting his name out there, because he could have just kept quiet. He didn't have to try to step in on short notice to fight RDA. I am not an Islam Makhachev hater. I've even made a video defending that I think Islam Makhachev deserves a title shot against the winner of Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. But this is just a bad look, and I had to talk about it. And as far as the people saying, well, since he turned down the fight against RDA on short notice, he no longer deserves the next shot, I don't really think that's fair. I think Islam Makhachev has the best winning streak in the lightweight division. I've already made that video. I've gone through the entire top 10 of lightweight. There's no one outside of Islam Makhachev that you can justify giving a lightweight title shot to outside of Beneil Dariush, who's injured, broke his leg. Who knows when Beneil Dariush is going to return? If he's going to be able to return relatively soon, I wouldn't mind the UFC rebooking Islam Makhachev versus Beneil maybe in the summer or fall, and then the winner of that fight can then fight the winner of Gaethje Oliveira in maybe November, December, or January of next year. I wouldn't mind that, but who knows how long Beneil Dariush is going to be out. So if Beneil Dariush is out of the picture, I still want to see Islam Makhachev fight for the title. I just think it's super disappointing that, he got everybody hyped up. He said he's willing to step in. RDA said, you know what, I will take the fight at 170 pounds. And then it ends up not happening. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, and thank you so much for watching.